People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Love and happiness. Yeah. Something that can make you do wrong, make you do right. Yeah. Love.
Hey.
Love and happiness.
Happy New Year.
Something going
We're
on.
back.
Someone's on the phone.
Greetings. And what up, though? Hey, I had to set the mood. Get this thing right on a Saturday evening. Hey.
How she can make it right, yeah. Happiness is when.
Y'all ready? If you've been waiting, here we go. Here we go, man. Greetings, and what up, though? I go by the Vanglorious one, Uncle Vick, and that's just the introduction for the people who may be first-time watchers, because normally I don't like to just call out my name when we start the show, but it's been a while, and we've been in this interim, so, hey, man, we back. You like it, man? New setup, dog. Ad-libs. If you hear a couple Migos ad-libs from the other room, then you'd hear my toddler walking around this thing trying to get on the show. So you might get to see my co-host, Phoenix Rain, from time to time. But we got a new vibe here going, man. More intimacy. We are at home in my bedroom. Have a meeting in my bedroom. Oh, shit, man. Oh, that's that throwback shit right there. I don't know. Who was that? Shy or Silk? I don't know. I can't remember. But trust and believe, if you're a little younger and you don't quite remember that joint, your mom or your auntie loves it. And if she like it a little too much, sorry to say, bro, your mom's was probably jacking niggas off in the auditorium back in high school. Or your aunt. I'm just saying, you better watch them. Yo, man, seems like it's been a long time, right? 2021, we are here now. Talk about some 2021-ish things. I know that all of this shit has been happening in society, and I haven't been here to talk about it. And we're going to talk about why for a second. Uncle Vick Rants went into an interim because, just to blatantly put it, I wasn't all right, man. I had to go home to my hometown of Detroit, Michigan. For those who are maybe new to this and are unfamiliar with who I am, I'm a hip-hop head or a hip-hop Bible of some sort, self-proclaimed. Niggas always love to get themselves big-ass names to, this is what we do. But big basis of that, shit, I've been a hip-hop head since I was 5 years old, man. But when I was 13, let me tell you a story real quick. When I was 13, I met a gentleman by the name of James. And the soul was different, man. The soul was just one of, I'm not gonna say purity, like he was no angel. We got to do the service, and we did that when we eulogized this man, but that was my nigga. And my nigga was a shyster. He was a smooth motherfucker. He was a lot of those things. But beyond all of those things that he was my brother. And he was my oldest living best friend. The only dude I ever called big bro in my life. And we developed this camaraderie and this love for each other that you just don't replace that. So when he departed this earth at 38 years old on 12/12/2020, a big part of me left with him, man. So, and I know I have to get to a point where we doing this show and I'm doing this thing through multiple different catastrophes in life because catastrophes happen, man. But that was one that was just a little too big for me to carry that around and try to present a show to you guys. I recorded a New Year's special. Like I said, we got a couple of lost episodes that may be funny, may not be. But I know I wasn't myself. And with that being said, this person, he motivated me. Like, I wouldn't be standing here today possibly if it wasn't. Matter of fact, possibly. I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for that person. Just me having the audaciousness to be able to even present this show, or me being, me being confident enough to speak publicly. I mean, I can even attribute that to him, because when I was 14 and writing lyrics and all that shit, and he was telling me, bro, you got a gift. Things that I was taking for granted. And even if it meant him throwing me in battles with niggas, walking me up to ciphers and having niggas attack me until I had to stand up for myself and battle a nigga, or just utilizing the things that God gave me, man. He played a very big part in that. So, and beyond that, he literally saved my life. And maybe I'll get into that here soon, because the 20th anniversary of me literally dying and coming back. If he wasn't there with me that night, I might have been gone at 18 years old. And this was a person that he was I guess you could say the proof to my Eminem, or the Pimp C to my Bun. Honestly, possibly more so like the prodigy to my Havoc, man, because James had a heart condition our whole lives. I knew this at 14, that we were possibly on limited time, but that never stopped him as a person. This is just an example of what type of heart this man had. Doctors say he had a bad one, and he didn't have every type of triple bypass heart surgery and health scare and heart attacks. This is somebody who had heart attacks at 18 years old, man. So the fact that he lived to be 38, and he worked out, and he fathered children, and he raised 6 kids, 3 grandkids. This was somebody who scientific society said he wasn't supposed to do that shit. And he constantly showed the world differently. And my last conversation with my brother, we was FaceTiming about 2 weeks before he passed. And the nigga was getting cuts and losing his little belly weight, and he looked really good. So for that to suddenly happen, that was a very big departure. And if I haven't said it, a big part of me went with him. So I had to take time to myself to figure out mentally who I was going to be coming into this year without a very big portion of what makes me me. And with that being said, bro, I am going to carry your motherfucking legacy like it's the biggest flag the world ever created, so that one day the world will understand what type of gift you were to this planet. If he would have had the mind to override his heart, and he made a choice to sit back and make sure that he loved on his family as much as he could before he left this earth. But the brain that man had, he could have been the next Puffy. He could have been the next Suge. He could have been the next Irv Gotti. Every rap group in high school that we had, he damn near put them together. He saw stuff in people, and he was able to bring the best out of everybody that he was around. And that's the realest shit you can ever do. And any dirt I've ever done was with this person. Like I said, this is a 26-year best friendship and a brotherhood. And every secret I ever had as far as dirt I've done in the streets, shit that don't nobody else know, he took it with him. And that's an example of loyalty that you just cannot pay for. So with that being said, rest in peace to my motherfucking brother, James J, rap name J Gotti Richardson. And I'm gonna make sure we represent you right, bro. Like, and I just had to say that before I got into this episode. Apologies for the morbidity. Now, let's get this shit going, man. All right. So, where we gonna start, man? Shit, I know it's almost Black History Month, but Happy New Year. We made it. Nigga, we made it. We here. And if you woke up today, you winning, man. Because a lot of people that we know didn't. But we off that morbidity kick. 2021. Your homie, Agent Orange, 45. We finally got this nigga up out the paint, y'all. Congratulations. Everybody celebrate. It's a celebration, bitches. Right. 2021. What have we seen so far? There's plenty of places I could start. 2021 almost opened up the year. It almost took out Dr. Dre when we got in here. And the fact that he's still here is a good sign. So, hey, optimism, right? That's what we're doing. Now, I don't want to be a negative Nicholas or a pessimistic Paulie or even a cynical Cleophas. But, man, we wired how we wired. And I'm a pessimistic person. I can't negate the reality of, I know we on New Year, New Me energy, right? A lot of us aren't, and I'm going to get to that later on, but you don't want to be a negative person about, you want to be optimistic about what's happening in life. But let's not be unrealistic, everybody. Let's not celebrate Biden and Kamala coming into office because we got Trump out of here. We don't know what's around the corner, yo. And these motherfuckers got 4 years to do their job. We not finna be sitting here or we should not be sitting here so ecstatic that, I said aesthetic, whatever. You know what I'm saying, ecstatic, however, you know, the English language is fucked up, okay? We got too many words that mean the same damn thing. But we're ecstatic that we have, first and foremost, congratulations, a Black woman as vice presidency. That's a woman in general, but a Black woman nonetheless. That's a huge accomplishment, and there's a reason to celebrate. But let's not forget who these individuals, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, are, and the things they've contributed to our society in a different type of way. And they got 4 years to make amends and atone for that, man. We ain't finna be sitting here, yo, 4 years. We got Cheeto out of here in 4. If we continue, and I'm really proud of the younger people that are paying more attention and getting their asses out here and helping them make a difference in this world. So I guess since we're talking about Kamala and Joe Biden, why not start out with DC and the Capitol, right? The fucking MAGA moon crickets, those thugs, those gangsters, those miscreants, those undesirable creatures. Oh my God. Now, every single platform and publication has already covered this, so I'm not going to stand on this long and talk about it a long time, but my Jasper and Merle was out there wilding. And everybody has their speculations on it. You got some people who think it's real. You got some people who think it was trauma actors. And here's what I think, if you care about what I think it was a little bit of both. I think they had some trauma actors, and I think it was set up to a degree, because when doesn't the American government do something that isn't manufactured? And I also believe they went to the darkest catacombs of America and found every Billie Jean, Betty Sue, Barbara Jean, Jasper, and Merle that they could find. And Merle and Jasper was sitting around just talking about this shit with them red hats on, looking like fucking TJ Detweiler that they've been walking around with for the last 4 years. Going, you know what? You know what, Jasper? You know what, Merle? I think it's about time we get down there and we do something about these motherfuckers still in this motherfucking election. And Jasper and Merle, they found some people and went down there and got them. And they went to the Capitol and did what rednecks do. And they, goddamn it, they did an amazing job. I have never seen the news that funny in my life. I think I cried for 3 days. Now, what I didn't like about that was just seeing our people infight. Like, what the fuck was we? That ain't our business. That was a bunch of white on white crime and some MAGA on and whatever them people is called, man. It was a lot of that. And that's they fucking business. Let's stop fighting with each other, especially publicly, for something that ain't got nothing to do with us. I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is where I see American government going, right? Now, I feel like they say art imitates life, correct? That's the saying, art imitates life. Well, I feel like life imitates art, honestly. I feel like we create music, cinematic, motion pictures. And I feel like it's a reflection of the history that has happened and the history that will happen. Because first and foremost, like we talk about, I saw a meme on Facebook before my hiatus that said something about they better write this shit in the Bible or something like that. Well, salute to my cousin Trust. Sail on, all that good stuff. As a matter of fact, you can go see my man's music. Just go to YouTube, Instagram, type in Trust. But I'm going to leave a link somewhere.
I used to ride for myself when I wasn't looking. It's crooked, awkwardly slanted. She often talks it in Spanish. It's guap. Don't want these hunters to stop. I lost interest in thoughts. After thrown in that hole, we climbed out of that box. Most of these haters was shot. That was typical. When shorty changed her life, that was spiritual. Hunt for better, we just turning cheddar. Churning butter, that's on baby brother. Chances taken, had the balls to take them. Hater coming fast, but I tend to shake them. Hunt for better, we just turning cheddar. Churning butter, that's on baby brother. Chances taken, had the balls to take them. Hater coming fast, but I tend to shake them. So
you can get some of that. Because Cuz is a game spitter on a different level. My cousin is one of those, I don't like to use the term woke, because woke is for niggas who just discover something and realize, and they don't know which direction to go in. My cousin is very solidified in what he knows. But sometimes it could be very annoying. Like, I remember, like for example, right? When I was living in Texas, just a quick story time, I'm watching Orange is the New Black one day, just trying to get my giggle on, look at a couple lesbian jail titties. Here he come, about to roll up, smoke something, chill out, but this nigga's deep. Like, he don't watch TV, he don't listen to no music. Like, he's what Lil Wayne would have liked to have been as far as really being in his own world and all that shit. And he has a very, very valid, very deep, like deep in the abyss deep. And I'm sitting there watching this shit. He walks in the room, he says, "Cuz, what you watching?" I say, "Orange is the New Black." This nigga double takes. He said, "Orange is the New Black?" Like, man, do you know what they trying to, what's the word he used? I can't even remember, because this was like literally 7 or 8 years ago, but it was just basically saying, do you know what they're trying to perpetuate with that title? And yeah, I know, cuz, but I just want to watch some lesbian jail titties and smoke this blunt and laugh. Sometimes we don't always have to be on a level of elevated consciousness with everything, but I do understand it. It's a cold, serious world out here, so yeah, I get it. But damn, Farrakhan, not right now. Let's smoke and enjoy this shit and laugh. But back to my point, we'd have these type of conversations, and he would always say to me, Yeah, because we still in Bible times. And got annoying, but after so long, it was like, yeah, we don't, I mean, maybe there will be an updated version of this story, but it never stopped. I get that it predicted futures and we talk about revelations and you may not believe the Bible, or it ain't about which religion you follow, what God you believe in, what book you read. The point in that is saying that, yo, this shit that they say happened, or just the ways of the world, it ain't changed none because we not in that time period. This is the same shit. And if the book is a playbook, if anything, so all the catastrophic shit that they be having in there, like in Revelations, like black plagues and all of that shit, we're here. Like in the words of my man Steve Stifler, we're here, fuckers. We're fucking here. Yo, pay attention. This is just what I'm saying, because the whole point of religion and high science, and it's about the evolution of mankind, womankind. I don't want to piss nobody off. I seen y'all fighting about amen and a woman as if amen doesn't have a meaning, and that does not mean male, like boy born with a penis. That's not what that means, but I'm gonna let y'all argue about that. So the point of what I'm saying is, how do I say this, right? We were born one day, right? Everybody was born. And this is one of those things that grinds in my gears, particularly because we are in a world that we don't understand. We're on a planet. This planet is alive. We are on this earth, right? And we just woke up here one day. A lot of us, as in human nature, we don't understand a lot of things, and a lot of us don't want to. And that's a problem for me, because we woke up one day and you just started seeing the world. You seen your mom and your grandmother and maybe your father, depending on what environment you grew up in, because a lot of us didn't see those. But we were born to whatever region we were born to, whatever city. And sometimes for us to not question, and I do respect the youth for that, even though they question entirely too much sometimes. Like, they'll question things, another conversation. But you was born here one day and you looked up and you had 10 fingers if you were blessed enough, 10 toes, and you was moving around. And there are literally billions and billions of us. And we see other people like us, and we're intrigued enough to talk about what the person did or didn't do. But we have all these different cultures and societies and this big-ass world full of people. And there are a lot of us who have no interest in wanting to know or trying to discover as many things as they can before they leave it, because we aren't guaranteed to be here forever. As a matter of fact, that's one guarantee, if we have none other, is that we not gonna be here forever. So why in the fuck would you grow up in a neighborhood or wherever you from and not want to see the rest of this big ass planet that we were blessed to have? That's kind of my point. And we were all put here to figure out each other and not figure out each other, because we don't have to figure out each other. We don't have to know everything. There's too many of us walking around here thinking we fucking geniuses. And the point of what I'm saying is that we're here to be of service. It's a lot of negativity. It's a lot of killing. It's a lot of all that other shit. We should kind of do this shit together a little bit, man, because you see what the fuck going on. It's MAGA moon crickets. And matter of fact, speaking of these moon crickets, can we repurpose nigger, RDR? Can we start, because the meaning of it and the way they try to demean us with it, I mean, yo, I will try to find a way to stop saying nigga because it's embedded in my DNA from where I was born at. I will try to find a way. I'm already working on a way to try to quit saying that as much, but I completely eradicate it if we can refer to them, Jeffro and Jasper and Merle, as niggers, because that was a bunch of niggerish activity in the Capitol. But I'm rambling on a tangent. Like I said, where I see this going, because it's back to my whole life imitates art point. There's movies that I saw as a kid. One in particular, Demolition Man, with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. Now, this is an action movie. You can go back, it's 90, I don't know, early 90s. I was about 9 or 10 when I saw this movie. And I haven't seen it in ages. But the concept, there are two movies in particular that I want to reference. One called Idiocracy, came out about 15 years ago, and this Demolition Man movie. Now, both of these movies take place in the future from that previous time, meaning like now-ish. And I've been saying this shit for years. We're in Idiocracy. Now, basically in Idiocracy, something happened. Two people from the 90s or whatever time it was, early 2000s, got frozen in time, and they woke up, you know, to whatever year they were in, and every single person on the planet was dumb. And even the president. Any resemblance? Can you imagine? This is why I say life imitates art sometimes, because that shit came out, like I said, 15 years ago. But we for sure just had 4 years of Biff from Back to the Future as a president, didn't we? So it's that. There's Demolition Man, where once again, some people got frozen in that era and they woke up in the future. And the world was different, obviously, because with time changes, evolution happens. Now, the thing I noticed as a kid in this movie was there was a different society. There was a lot of censorship. Wonder when that's gonna happen, i.e. cancel culture. You couldn't use profanity. You couldn't say certain words. And I'm not mad at a evolved society that we've realized, because like I love watching 90s movies and shit. Been watching them all week. And I watch them sometimes and I'm like, oh, we were toxic as shit. And that's another word that I want to get rid of in 2021. We were emotionally unhealthy with a lot of the things we said. We didn't really give a fuck about nobody's feelings. We would drop a couple F-bombs, and I ain't talking about fuck. We would drop a couple, what I'm saying? I almost forgot that. See, this is the age happening. But there was just a different time, man. Like, and in this movie, there was, like I said, it was a lot of censorship, and everybody was well off, as if they passed out a bunch of money and got everybody well off. There was no poverty. Everything was clean, as if they had gentrified everything. And, well, there's the kicker, right? In the sewer of this new evolved world, there were a bunch of people that I guess were considered the scourge of that particular place. They were all poor, they didn't have shit, and they still cussed, did everything they wanted to do, but it was basically this forgotten underground society, and they tried to, for lack of better terms, sweep them under the street. Now, if this was made in like 92, 93, and I'm looking at what's happening now, this is how I see the next 10 years. Because let's be perfectly honest, this is 2021, right? We just had an election year and a decade change. Now, if history serves, just in my theory, history shows that, and it shows first and foremost that it repeats itself. Now, secondly, if you look at the change of a millennium, right, from the 1800s to the 1900s, it was a big industry boom. It was the railroad system and the drilling of oil in America. So there was an abundance of wealth coming through this pipeline of America, and people was getting fucking money off that shit. Big booming industry. As the, and I don't remember politics from that time, but I'm pretty sure those were, they were elections happening and regime changes in power and all of that shit. And which gets me to, because I mean, okay, comparison. 2000, the boom that was happening was the technology industry and Napster and all of this stuff. And remember, we was the Y2K, all of this shit in 2000. Now, it takes me to the 1920s, because that, the roaring 20s. And there was underground businesses. I think prohibition and all that. I can't remember. I'm not a historian, but I remember that time just from the things that I've read and movies and things that I've seen throughout my history. If time serves me correctly, the 20s was a boom of other industries and just a bunch of illegal, a bunch of nefarious activity for people on lower levels to be able to grow with the times. And I'm seeing that happen right now in the 20s. We got plagues and I know I'm going all over the place. Aliens coming, people, like all type of shit has been happening. So I say that to say this. Go back and look at the roaring 20s. Because this is for sure the roaring 2020s. And I don't want to be a negative person about this, but I'm just saying to be aware, man. There's too many of us on fucking Facebook spending real money to look fake, walking around with jewelry and, walking around with fake jewelry and not to knock nobody, because you ain't got to blow money and all that shit. The point of what I'm saying is there are a lot of us too preoccupied with things that don't have anything to do with the growth and evolution of our cultures, and we spend too much time worried about arguing or debating and being right when there's a lot of shit happening in this world, man. So just be aware of that. And it is a better year, and we gon' go through that shit with some positive energy, man. But be careful, man, because if history really does repeat itself, this decade gonna be a long one, man. We saw how long 2020 was. This shit felt like a decade. Now, we're almost at Black History Month, and this shit is riding by, and a lot of things are happening. So keep your antennas up, man. Just keep your antennas up. Now, the things that I want to talk about now for this episode of Uncle Vick Rants, first one in 2021, is things that I don't want to see continue to transpire in 2021, but I'm sure they're going to happen and we're not going to see a change anyway. Now, I just talked about how much of a fucked up place we're in, and it's a lot of things they say is happening. We've seen a thing at the Capitol. They're talking about it's a whole new mutation, a teenage mutant ninja COVID coming around this motherfucker. COVID 2021. Now, meaning, now we have a lot of things, man, already against us. So the main thing I want to see change in 2021 that ain't gonna change, because we all know it's so far gone, and I don't know if we can backtrack and reverse that. But nigga moments, can we please cut back on nigga moments in 2020? Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with what a nigga moment is, you might want to go, I don't know what episode of Boondocks that is, but I'll let Huey Freeman describe it for you.
Watch where you walking, nigga. Hey, what you say, nigga?
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment. Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male.
What did you say, bitch, nigga? Hey, squeeze it, nigga.
Causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga. Nigga moments are unpredictable.
Hey, wait, man, wait. This is stupid. Hey, you right, dawg. Look, let's put the guns away and go on about our business. Freeze!
But they all end up bad. If they had their own category, nigga moments would be the third leading killer of black men behind pork chops and FEMA. It's a fact. Now let's see how a nigga moment affects a white man.
Prick. Watch where you walking, bitch.
What did you... Wait a minute. I'm white.
Where you going? Don't you ignore me. This is a perfectly good moment to throw your life away.
A big misconception about the nigga moment is that it can be avoided by simply moving away from niggas.
Yeah. So, nigga moments. And I am not sitting here as if I am absolved of nigga moments, as if I have never created one. Even recently, if you are Facebook friends with me, you just saw me creating nigga moments a few weeks ago. And I ain't no excuse for it. I'm not gonna sit here and say I was going through shit, I was burying my brother. No, I wanted to have a nigga moment. But it's never because the thing about nigga moments is there's levels to it. Love and hip hop. People, we go to entertainment to get our fair share of nigga moments. And then there's Nipsey Hussle. Way too far of a nigga moment. See, it's levels. And those are the type of nigga moments I don't want to see happen no more. Us killing each other, talking shit, just from I've seen like shit, niggas with money phones go to niggas being dead. Rest in peace, King Von. I just say that's what he was doing when it happened, but I know it's wishful thinking. But I mean, yo, can we just stop? Can we just stop being so eager to attack each other? Meanwhile, terrified whenever we see blue and red lights or somebody that looks that's less melanated. We get real corrective. We get real corrected in the presence of certain entities. Meanwhile, we're running our brother full speed over some goofy shit. Goofy shit. And I'll elaborate more, right? Like, cause I'm gonna keep it real, right? If you follow me on social media, you would think, or on Facebook rather, because it's more, for some reason that brings out a little bit more of my, I don't want to say evil side, but vindictive, right? Because it seems like the place where all the niggas who was unpopular or uncool in high school go to die. But in death, become alive. It's like the rise of the lame niggas or something right now. And you have this energy around it where people get fly with you and they talk crazy. And I don't particularly like violence. I don't like insulting people, but I'm also a very big advocate for if you want to get in the mud, I'm going to get in the mud and slay in this mud with you. Now, I am aware that, if you in a circus and you watching two clowns and one of them ain't got makeup on and one do, if you sitting in the audience, you probably can't tell that. People from a distance can't tell who is who when two motherfuckers is clowning. So even me, like I have a tendency to make a mockery of myself if I feel like, or I felt like, yo, if I shoot who I'm trying to shoot, I'll make a mockery of myself to get there. And that's a very flawed thinking, and it's rooted in nigga moments. But I'm not the kind of person, like Ho say, if you shoot my dog, I'm gonna kill your cat. That's the unwritten laws in rap. Know that. For every reaction, there's a reaction. Don't have me reacting or relapsing. I can't remember those words, but you know what I'm saying. There is this energy with me where I'm going to take it to the next level, and I'm working on that. Hey, I'm a work in progress. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm high and mighty or like I'm just so beyond anything that I'm talking about to where I would never carry myself like a whore. Like, no. Sometimes I want to get dirty with you motherfuckers. And I said whore because that's literally me motherfuckers is whoring their energy out to the next person for the dumbest reasons. But I'm the kind of person that if you disrespect me to a point of, and that's an ego thing, it's a pride thing. Sometimes our egos are too big for our own good. And especially me being a black man in an environment that I was brought up in, we were taught to don't let nobody play with you, don't let nobody punk with you or disrespect you. And it's like, I'm watching that shit happen sometimes, and it's like, why do I care about the respect of a motherfucker that I don't even respect? Like, why do I care? But I'm the kind of person that if you take it too far, if you violate me in a way of, if you talk about you gonna do something to me, or, because there's a lot of that, and I'm gonna get to that. It's a lot, as a matter of fact, let's get to it now. Another thing that I don't want to see in 2021, but I know we're gonna see it anyway, is fucking thumb thugs. You know, the niggas on talking about what they gonna do to you, and fucking Google Goon and Gigabyte Gangsta ass niggas, or my personal favorite, Lester the Court Jester ass niggas. Niggas are all super, what you nigga, I do this, nigga, and I've been a victim of that myself, because when I first came on social media, I started getting in groups, fucking with battle rappers and whatnot, and in this lane, I was kind of a late bloomer to Facebook and shit. I got it because I had a kid and started gaining friends in places that I didn't know I would gain friends one day. And man, there's just this energy. So when I came into it fresh out Detroit, moving to Ohio, and thinking that, you know, you laugh, you crack jokes, and when a motherfucker say they gonna do something to you, I'm taking it like this is when it was new. And now I realized, before I knew niggas was thumb thugs. And I didn't understand that. So I was like, nigga, I see you too, nigga. Because I'm the type of nigga, I get on an Amtrak, rent a car, I'll come see you. Give me the shoot to shoot me the Addy. Like, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. We gonna slide. And I had to realize that, you know, before I knew what a troll was, that niggas just be saying shit, man. So, but I'm the kind of person that if you say something to me, my nigga, ain't no more levels to it. So you can't disrespect somebody and tell a person how to react. Well, I only said this, so you can't go that far. Man, fuck that. If you say anything to me out the way, and this is something I'm getting over, but if you say something to me out the way, I'm going for the juggler off rip. I want you to come think you want to come do something. So it's like, nigga, I don't know, for example, if a nigga say, I'm gonna put the pause on you. I don't know what the word is now. Niggas is like, we can slide. I don't know what the new word for fight is. But I think it's slide. Well, nigga, I'll slide you. Or this, that. And I'm like, well, to make sure, okay, nigga, if I look on Facebook and say, yo, mama dead. Fuck your dead mama, nigga. Okay, now come slide me. Like, if I it's a little too far. It's a bit much. I understand, but it's like, nah, nigga, you say you gonna do something. If I see your mama on it in a fucking incubator, if I see your auntie, nigga, this is, you know what? Oh my God, please, God, I'm just talking. I'm telling the truth. You know your child. If I see your grandma got cancer, nigga, and you say something crazy to me, I'm gonna be on the page typing, and nigga, that's why your grandma, nigga, she in chemo. You should have told your grandma to stop smoking at 9 years old, nigga. Maybe she wouldn't have I've been smoking since I was 9 years old. Hey, I'm sorry, man. Hey, well, I'm telling the truth, man. This is the kind of, I'm just not, hey, I'm putting myself out here. Judge me, do what you want to do. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm still at work. God's still working on me. So, that's the type of energy I'm going to give off. If you say you want to do something to me on the internet, and I'm getting past that point now, but it's because I realize you niggas are suckers, man. And I'm not saying that because I'm tough or that I can't whip everybody's ass, but I don't know. It just ain't no place for that. And I would love if we just got rid of the Gigabyte gangsters, or you niggas just stop doing that in 2021. Like, we got to get to some place where that's not a thing no more, man. We got to grow up to some degree. Just, yeah, like, just loose word usage. Like, we use a lot of these words too loosely. Hater. That's my, I'm gonna get to that one. Ballin', money, broke. I see broke people call broke people broke all the fucking time. And it's like, yo, even if you got a nice job, bro, you a check or two away from even, going through your savings again. Like, if you can't move your mother out the hood, my nigga, or move yourself out the hood all the way, and your well-being or your prosperity still depends on whether or not you lose this job. I mean, yeah, you might be living a little better. You might can afford some Gucci and shit, but okay, you still kind of broke too. And niggas with this high-end fashion, and I ain't sitting here knocking you. If you do what makes you happy, because I love some, I like Versace, even though I don't own none. When I can own some, I'm gonna give me some Versace. But shit, we gotta run so quick to, your friends got clothing lines. Now, I ain't saying because some of your friends' clothing lines is trash, but we ain't gotta be so, I got on Gucci, nigga, look at my belt buckle, nigga. Like, let's not always treat the white ice or the ice that don't care too much for us like it's colder. That's all I'm saying. But I guess that's it for things I don't want to see in 2021. It's a long list of things that I don't want to see, but I'm just going to stick to I'm going to keep it short as possible, because I'm sure this episode is going to run a little long because I got a lot of shit I want to say. And I wish that's basically what I said about the Gucci. That's one other thing I want to see happen that isn't going to change. I wish we would be so quick. I wish that we wouldn't be so quick to jump on social trends or social media trends or whatever the case. Any trend for the sake of feeling included as much as we jump on, like how we turned Georgia, I can't remember which color, I think blue. I don't remember. I don't be following this shit to the point where I know which one is the Bloods and which one is the Crips, but the same way the Democrats flipped Georgia, let's be more aware of jumping on trends like that and things that will progress us. I ain't mad at nobody for selling their tummy teas and all. Like, I like that entrepreneurship is a trend. Let's jump on that more. Let's not be, I'm not saying don't have fun and don't participate in the trends. I'm just saying that we super quick to run to those, and I'll see those same people not remotely want to partake in anything that is of growth of our people or growth of just yourself. Come on, man. I mean, I ain't saying I don't have no fun. Jump on that shit. Do it, make you happy. But let's stop not being aware. And I don't want to make this the fucking woke episode, but hey, man, sometimes you got to just talk a little bit of truth. I didn't want to come in and talk about hip hop because honestly, this show is more about life than it is about hip hop. I just happen to be a person that hip hop has been in my life as long as I can remember. From me discovering Beat Street that came out in 1982 or 83. I was born in 82. And at 4 or 5 years old, I discovered the movie Beat Street. And from that moment on, hip hop and me was parallel. So I'm going to talk about hip hop and all that shit, but that hip hop in my life is like, it ain't just a music or an art form to me. It's a lifestyle. It's literally a part of my life. We talk about hip hop in a sense of relevancy or who's hot or what you see on the gram and all that shit. I get it. Some of y'all wasn't there in the infancy stages of hip hop. I was. So I appreciate it a little differently. Like I said, I discovered Beat Street when I was 5. I literally watched that VCR movie every single day to the point where my grandmother threw it down the stairs and broke it. And I cried so long that my auntie Sheila, shout out my nigga auntie Sheila, bought me another one the same day because life wasn't going to be the same. To the point where one of the first ass whippings I can remember is my mom had the 45, the vinyl jump off, at one point in time, this was the only form of music, 8-track players, these. Your mom would put these on an actual house radio, like a stereo in your house. Mama had a little collection. And one day I was going through this shit like 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6 at the oldest. And she had the Beat Street soundtrack with the red and the green. I think those were the colors on the shit. And it was the logo from the movie. Like, nigga, I put that shit on the speaker. It was, like, not realizing that that's not a turntable. And you don't do that. So that shit was sounding like, and I was scratching the shit out that record. My mom made sure I didn't scratch no more. But that's how, just that quick story, that's how prevalent hip hop is in my heart and my life. So I'm going to talk about those things. But every episode ain't going to be about no hip hop. It's life. And I'm going to give you some music suggestions today. But like I said, man, just things that we don't want to see no more. Yeah, man. So before I get out of here, one more thing. I got to go back to 2020 real quick. Rewind. I got to go back to 2020 so that I can talk about something that I didn't get to talk about at the end of the year because I was in the interim season. And I'll just blatantly say it. Power, Ghost, season, whatever book that was, the shit was trash. The writing was trash at least. The wardrobe, amazing. Salute to Michael Rainey Jr., Tariq. He acted his ass off because he made y'all hated him for 5-6 years to the point where y'all wanted to real life do something to this man when y'all seen him, and he made y'all like him. That's big. Now, there's a reason I'm talking about this because, first and foremost, like I said, hip hop is in my veins. I don't know how it to not be. So I'll support anything 50 Cent do because I feel like 50 Cent, his catalog is so, Get Rich or Die Trying is so big that we underrate the rest of his catalog. He makes great television for life. Power was good the first 3 seasons. Then it got real predictable to the point where I was called, that one season where they killed Raina, spoiler alert for y'all who haven't watched Power, the one season where they killed Raina, I just knew that everything was going to happen. The only thing I didn't call before the season ended, before the season started damn near, was them killing Raina. The Kanan season, I called that shit. It was like every episode after they burned 50 Cent and the nigga was still alive, it was like, what are you doing? But back to Ghost, season 2. And there's a couple reasons I'm going to get into this. But I watched every episode of it. And when I say that, I'm not saying it to disrespect the show. Like, I still like Power because, back to the whole nigga moment thing, we get our fair share of nigga TV. Sometimes we just need to entertain ourselves with nigga shit. So that's the reason why we like it. Because it's the nigga soap operas. It's nigga General Hospital. Nigga Bold and the Beautiful. It's those shows. We like it because it's dramatic and it's a soap opera. It gives you that dun-dun-dun vibe. Like, you want to see what's going to happen next. And it fits the things that we all like in the hood. We don't like it because I don't want to say the hood just love drug dealing, but things that we're familiar with. Drug dealing, murder, sex, getting fresh, selling dope, all of that stuff. And it was good for that. But writing-wise, that story, it was Power Part 2. Junior Power. You had fucking NFT, is what I call him, but New Fake Tommy, where he was an Ivy League, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I'm sure there are Ivy League kids that sell drugs. Ivy League white boy got his life set up for him. Meet Tariq and they take him to the hood, Kanan home, the new Kanan, new Kanan. Like, come on, man, this is the same fucking show. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I love that shit. I'm going to, come on, bro. Tommy on the run. He popped back in. The scene was dope because they played many men. All of a sudden, Tariq is Ghost, and he got a little Angela and a little Notori, Lil Kim, whatever, Tasha. He got that. And it was just the same show with teenage characters. You're not going to sit here and tell me that was great writing when we have The Sopranos, we had Oz even, we had The Wire, the greatest written episodic cinema in history, in my opinion. Now, everybody entitled to their own opinion, and that is fine if you love Power. But the writing was not that good. Like, we watched, Mary J called that nigga Tyreek for 5 episodes. And then all of a sudden she figured, man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, man. The writing was not good, but we support the show because we support 50 and we support hip hop. And 50, like, for life is even good, even though I hate my man's wig. It's almost like 50 Cent, and I hope he don't butcher the BMF story. He can't, but I think it's going to be fire. I do think it's going to be fire. And it's like 50 becoming the Tyler Perry of hood shit. Like, and y'all know how y'all feel about Tyler Perry. Don't say, like, be real with yourself, man. Two things can be true at once. You can like the shit and the writing still not be great, which I did. I liked it still, but the writing wasn't great. It wasn't no fucking Snowfall. It was. Anyway, man. And I'm looking forward to Kanan, actually. The book, I think that book 3 is going to be better than book 2, and maybe even the first one, because I feel like 5th is going to put a emphasis on the Kanan character's story, and it's a fresh take on it. Now, if I look up and it's Ghost and Tommy as kids, and it's the same story over and over, then I'm done with the Power Marvel universe. But yeah, that's all I want to do was visit 2020 for a minute and tell you that Power's writing sucked, and it just did. Shit, McGraw-Ave. And I'm not saying that because I'm from Detroit, but I'm talking any low-budget hood movie. I love a good low-budget hood movie with bad acting. The better the acting, the better the movie. But a lot of them stories be real fucking good. And so I don't mind watching shit with bad acting in it. It's cool. And, you know, it's essential, in my opinion. What's hip-hop without a good hood nigga low-budget story? Griselda, speaking of hood low-budget stories, Griselda just released a movie last week, Conflicted. I went and bought it on premiere day like I went to the movies. And goddamn it, that was a good movie, even though a lot of the acting was bad. I'm not going to continue to dig at this, but I'm going to go into the last segment to kind of put this thing to bed. And that's Wacko of the Week, man. And I'm here to give out the Wacko of the Week award. Last year I did the first one, and it was on a guy, my homie Shola, good dude, you know. And this is basically what Wacko of the Week is for you guys who don't know. It's giving yourself. It's just acknowledging stupid shit. And we call like now the new thing is to call people weirdos. And I personally don't like the term weirdo as an insult because I've been look at this. I'm an odd person. I am shooting a show for you in my bedroom right now with my kids and my daughter's mother in the next room enjoying their Saturday. I'm sitting here with this shit, like the backdrop, by the way. Some classics right here. Happy Woo Year, too, for my Woo fans. Happy, you know. But, so I'm a very weird person. And I think being weird is a good thing. You should be happy in being yourself. Now, I understand why the term weirdo is an insult to some people, and we have to use it, because it's a lot of lame shit happening. But I personally like the term wacko for some of these very peculiar, corny individuals. So sometimes it's just some wacko shit. Sometimes it's corny, sometimes it's lame. Sometimes it's a combination of all of those things. Sometimes it's just idiotic. So with that being said, this week, first episode of Uncle Vick Rants 2021, I'm giving the wacko of the week to yours truly, myself. Reason being is because I'm a very reactionary person on a lot of senses where I know it ain't about that and I don't take it serious. And I come off to be a tad angry if you see me typing and you don't get the grasp of my tone on a social media platform. But I'm not. I don't care about a lot of things, but I do like to react and let a nigga know how I feel. And I have to give that to myself because that's me picking my ego over logic. And the reason I say that is because I had a tiff on social media a few weeks ago with, don't matter, person's not important, but we're talking about power. And I was sharing my thoughts on power, and somebody got on the post and tried to discredit me. And he asked me, do you feel like you could write a better show. And, you know, like, I don't want to sit here and toot my horn and pat my back, but I've been writing stories since before I could write a rhyme. 4 or 5 years old, I started writing plays. And I ain't saying I'm the greatest writer on the planet, but I do believe I could have wrote a better story. So when he asked me, I said, yeah. And, you know, when niggas get on social media and they, you know, you can't identify the tonality in which somebody's using it. And people love to just, they listen to respond. They want to argue. They come there with the intent to argue. I don't personally like arguing. I'm good with a debate topic or something, but I'm going to say what I honestly feel. So yeah, I felt like I could have wrote a better show. And nigga was on, this is how I imagine them doing it and shit. Nigga, so what make you think that you could be the person to, you know, that's what I imagine the nigga doing. But he was like, who is you? Who, you like, and I'm like, damn, like you trying to discredit me because you love power so much. It's cool. You can like it, bro. I still feel how I feel. It's fine. But this individual responded with something more discrediting or whatever. And I said, whatever I said, he said whatever he said. We were just discussing. Like, it was literally just me stating my point. Like, yeah, I feel like I could do that. And the nigga said something. You ain't nobody. You ain't never did shit. And like, I know this person. I've drank with this person. This nigga's been in my mother's house. So I know this person. It's like, nigga, you always look like, I don't want to be that person, to judge a person, because I don't like the call. I'm not the person that's like bum ass nigga, broke ass nigga. Like, I don't like that shit. Because like I said earlier, everybody a check or two away from being a little broke. But I mean, he just has a career of always looking like the boyfriend of your, like your cousin's boyfriend that you know, like when he coming over, it's like, call a boyfriend coming over, hide the good shit. Like, you know, he be going to people change purses and shit. Like, he just give you big, I'ma steal the change out your purse at 30 plus energy. So I'm like, damn, bro. Like, and I wasn't being mean when I said what I said, but I'm like, you dick sucking power so much that you just want to like fight me because I don't think the writing's good. And the nigga started threatening me. I'm gonna do this to you. You better watch your mouth, nigga. That's what I talk about the Gigabyte Gangsta in. And I'm like, nigga, you call me out my name, and I'm like, I just said you dick sucking power. Now, in the hip hop community, we've used these words, like back in the day, the word was jocking, or I don't know what they've called the word over time, but it's meant in jest to be playful in your rhetoric. It ain't meant to be malicious. So when I said you dick sucking power, the nigga like, you call me a dick sucker, nigga, and I'm like, I guess, like, I didn't know TV shows had dicks. Like, I understand if it was like, you dick sucking 50 Cent, nigga. You a dick sucker. You put dicks in your mouth, nigga. Like, I don't understand that. I'm not even that type of man. I feel like men get angry and men are always, get off my dick, my dick, my dick, my dick. And that's weird in the first place because why is it that every time you have, like, I know niggas love to play pause and all that, but why do you niggas get into an altercation or a confrontation with a man and the first thing you refer to is your, hey, whatever, float your boat, whatever float. Hey, nigga got mad at me and talked about me painting my nails and shit. And it's like, you a fun boy, nigga, you paint your nails. And I knew that was going to happen. I was okay with putting my vulnerability out there if it meant getting a point across to my daughter. Like, and I had to respond with that. Yeah, I get it, bro. I paint my nails and all that shit. I painted them pink, green, purple, whatever. All the gayest colors in the world you could possibly think of. But don't get me misconstrued, young sir, because the hands that these pink, green, and blue hands were painted on, they work. And I ain't saying that because I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not finna fight nobody or rolling around in no dirt with nobody. The point is, like, you got me fucked up. But that's why I give myself wacko of the week for entertaining that energy, knowing what time it is, and knowing that I can see this person in real life and really address it. I had a couple of those altercations going through my grief-stricken moments where I just wasn't letting niggas holler. I wasn't letting niggas do, nah, you can't do that. Watch your mouth. Nigga, got me fucked up. But I had to realize that, first and foremost, this shit don't be worth your energy. I got 4 daughters. I got family to take care of. I have, let's just say what they want to say. I mean, we'll see what the energy like And I don't even want to put my hands on nobody. I'm going to be, look at this shit I got on white. I don't want to be rolling around in the dirt with no niggas. Ass hanging out. Because you know when niggas fight, they booties come out and shit. So, man, ain't nobody got time for that, dog. So, I give myself the wacko of the week for, sometimes not taking the L is the biggest L in itself. Sometimes you got to take the L to really win. And I give myself wacko of the week for not taking the proverbial L on the internet and arguing with a nigga and being reactionary. So you got to hold yourself accountable sometimes, man. I'm going to put myself here. So just know that when I start putting some of you other goofy, idiotic motherfuckers here, I put myself here first in 2021. All right, so I've talked your ear off entirely too much. I'm getting my swing back, man. I'm trying to back in the gym, you know. You wasn't with me shooting in the, trying to get back normal, man. So before I get out of here, I just wanna do my thing and put some music out there because the music industry's closed right now and albums aren't coming out yet. Drake was supposed to come out this past Friday and it didn't. So people always say shit don't come out, so I do want to, just kind of put y'all up on something that you might not know was out. So there was an album that came out a week or two ago called Second Generation Woo. And like I said to my Woo heads, happy fucking Woo year. I always start out my new year with some Wu-Tang Clan, whether it be this album or, fucking my backdrop, this album or this album. Or that album, or that album even. And I just wanted to point it out because it's the sons of the Wu-Tang Clan. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Young Dirty Bastard. I think it's a Method Man's son, maybe Inspector Deck's son, and I don't know who else, but they're grown men now. And they got some chopped up Wu. It's the Wu vibe, and it's good rapping. And it sounds good. So if you got an album that you want to check out, you can go check out Second Generation Woo. And I got a rating system coming soon. We still haven't gotten all of the criteria in order yet because when I do start critiquing these albums and putting what I think my rating for it is, I want it to be very intentional and specific and you to understand what I'm conveying when I rate these albums because like I said in a previous episode, artists are sensitive about their shit and I don't really be on here picking no fucking duds, man. So go check out Second Generation Woo. The album is called Hereditary, I think. I'll put an album cover right here or here somewhere. And they got replays on like reimaginings of Cream. I think it said God rules everything around me. Forget about the money. None of it is real, y'all. But it's fire. And it ain't no. I know that sounds. It ain't no church. Like this is rapping. If I'm not mistaken, Pharoah Monch just put an album out this weekend. A couple albums came out, man, and I'll get back to you on the ones that I have not seen come out. And we gonna have some conversations in hip hop this year about a couple things. Cause it's a couple people that now, you niggas ain't putting no respect on certain people's names, man. And I don't want to just, I don't want to have a prejudice toward the younger people. Or like the last episode I said, I get tired of 30-year-old niggas talking about 90s hip hop when you was only at the oldest 10 years old, but I still respect their opinion. I just don't, I'm going to talk about it. I don't like how they just disregard how certain things happen in history, but I fuck with the youngins. And a lot of old niggas say goofy shit about hip-hop, too. A lot of them. And I'm on their asses, too, this year. So, we ain't doing that this year, man. New year, new me, right? Because you're supposed to evolve every day. And for you new year, new me hating ass niggas, let people be what they want to be to make themselves happy. You should want to evolve and be better every fucking day. And if you're going to be new year saying me, I mean, at the end of the day, you was who you was when you got here anyway. And The evolution is about building a house on the foundation. You ain't gonna never really change who you are at the core, but you can always work on it and have a better looking house than everybody else on the block. So, hey man, if you get any takeaway from this episode, take away this. Sometimes you gotta take the L to really win. And the best, sometimes the best way to see somebody is to not look at them. And another part before I get out of here, my wacko of the week. Sometimes you manifest the things that you don't like. Sometimes you manifest the negative energy by going to look for it. Now, maybe you're not doing it intentionally, but just to cap this off, I was grieving. I lost one of the realest people in my life that I've ever had. So I just initially started looking around at everybody, questioning people. So I kind of bought some fake nigga energy toward me. So when the fake niggas and me started intermingling and having altercations, I kind of bought that on myself. So sometimes, man, the best way to see a motherfucker is to not look at him at all. And with that being said, I'm back, but I'm out of here. Uncle Vick out. And just remember, man, we're all weirdos calling the next person weirdos for being weirdos. Be yourself and enjoy it, man. Don't let nobody tell you who to be out here. Uncle Vick out. Don't drop that dun. Hey, don't drop that dun. Make this money. Take this. Hey, make moves.